I love all y'all folks. Like y'all don't even know how much I love each and every one of you, and I love you, Saab, for letting me come on here and toot my horn on a nightly basis. Like even when I get off the rocker and 10 million sheets to the wind, like you let me speak my voice, and I love each and every one of you. Dreamy,
Well, Rasta, what's your thoughts on urine therapy?
Well, I've honestly I tried it once. Because after like especially like if you've done psychedelics all night, like LSD or something, and in high school, I was like, they said if you drink your piss, the first piss from your psychedelic experience, then it magnifies your experience, substantially. And I've tried everything, from for all the different things, like to expand
convention.
Yep. No, there's definitely nothing to be ashamed of for drinking your own piss.
I don't know. I just can't help but think that what's next? Deep fried crap. I mean,
I would have to be absolutely out in the middle of the desert with absolutely nothing but dirt for miles around me before I drink my own piss.
I was out at Burning Man in the middle of the desert, and this dude handed me this.
Pay me $1 million to do it.
I was out there at Burning Man, right? And this guy handed me this vial of acid, and he's like, here, drink it, take as much as you want. And so like I took the dropper full, and like 20 minutes later, I was puking rainbows out there at Burning Man. They talk about puking rainbows, but I was literally like the puke coming out like it was rainbow in color, and I was like, wow, this is so phenomenal. And then like I had a fur coat on out in the middle of the desert, and then like 20 minutes later, I was walking and I ran into my son's mom. Like she was there at Burning Man too, and like I knew she had been out there, but like I didn't know where she was camped, and like there were 60,000 people there,
right?
And all of a sudden she just came walking along, and so like it was such a magical experience. Like I met this beautiful woman there, and we had an awesome time hanging out. I got to DJ on these pirate ships, these giant, like they converted school buses into pirate ships. And I got to play my reggae music while I was like at the helm of a pirate ship going through the desert and blasting reggae music on a pirate ship, just like playing Bob Marley on a freaking pirate ship in the desert while I'm tripping balls. it was like it doesn't get any. Yeah, I've been so like festival life has been such a huge part of my existence for years upon years. Like there's this place outside of Portland here called Horning's Hideout, where they had these events called the Northwest String Summit, where we call the nickname for it was the Northwest Spun Summit, because like all the people would bring like their best psychedelics there, and like you would like it would like we'd be up for like the whole weekend just like spun out of our minds, just like.
So check this out. Lisa said that she would never drink her own pee unless she had nothing else to drink. If it was to either drink or pee or die, then she'd go ahead and drink.
Just mix a little Kool-Aid with it.
Wait a second. I got a question about that. What if the choice was you either drink somebody else's pee or die?
See, and I would do that. Like what if, you've got the golden shower, right? I had this one night stand with this chick.
Dude, no. We're not going to do that.
No, I'm not going to talk about golden shower.
I don't care about your golden shower.
No, I'm not going to talk about like that. But but she got up in the middle of the night to like go to the bathroom, and like she ended up like taking a piss in her freaking purse, and it was like so just like wrong as its way, like
would you slip in her drink, man? No.
Yeah, right.
I'm a handsome fellow. I don't got to do that, like I get these women beating at my doorstep when I go out.
Sure.
It's like
I'm sure.
Oh my god. So yeah, your pillow idea is pretty cool.
R. Kelly Bear unindoctrinated.
Oh, I see how that works. I see how that works.
I love that, yeah, because I like
They lay down, listen, they lay down, they hit their head on the fucking crystal, it knocks them unconscious.
The Dave Chappelle, he's like, the Dave Chappelle's like the R. Kelly song where he's like, they're gonna pee on you. And he's like, poop, poop, peep, peep. I love that. Like, that was one of my favorite Dave Chappelle skits of all time. Like the R. Kelly skit, like where he was like clowning on R. Kelly hardcore. Like, and where, you know, where he was like that crackhead dude. Mm-hmm. What was his name? Like or the Clayton Bigsby, the black KKK member dude, like the old school Chappelle Show days, like you can't beat those times, like of the Chappelle Show. You know, it was some good times.
Let me see here.
Yeah, Clayton Bigsby. Clayton Bigsby. Yeah. And that makes me want to just bring back the old Chappelle.
What? Yeah. I see you're on like kind of a little trip there going with that too. So yeah.
You know, this is, you know, I am a YouTube personality and I am a lively character. And you know, and characters, you know, they get in their character like persona, you know, and I live up to my name.
Yes.
You know,
that's just being fake. That's not really being real when you're just a person.
No, that would be if that's just, you know, who you are on screen.
Sorry to interrupt. You said you lived up to your name, but then do you mean like in like not caring and taking those different drugs? But then you're Rasta Bear, and that's just weed. That doesn't, like, you should smoke a lot of weed. That's all right, but like it doesn't really reflect Rasta Bear if you're into like, you know, kind of. You know, Rastas aren't into like chemicals and that, man.
Yeah,
well, no, certain times it's necessary, you know, and like I say, mushrooms. If you research like the mushrooms in the church and in stained glass in the church, there's over.
Yeah, I'm not talking about mushrooms. I'm talking about ketamine.
Well, ketamine's like I say, like my experiences with that have been, you know, like it's been something that has been divine, like it's been something spiritual in nature, and like it's something that. Yeah, it has been derived in the laboratory, but it's clean as something like where it doesn't distort your appearance. It flushes out of your system in less than 24 hours to the point where it's like it's non-existent in there. And like it's one thing that they don't cut with anything else. Like it's pure. And you know, it comes like they have treatment centers where they administer it to people for addiction issues, for different types of psychological disorders. I mean,
the mainstream uses it isn't kind of in its, you know,
right. It can't. It's been abused upon especially in the electronic music scene and stuff. But the way I was using it, I was isolating it to the point where I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't even smoke herb. You know, I wasn't using anything else. No other medications. Like I'd like to see what's in some of these other people's medicine cabinets that want to judge me for my decision to to divulge. I was noticing old totally fake news really has some disdain for Owen Benjamin. I don't know what his deal is, but like he just like keeps on just hating on the Bears. And I don't understand why.
I guess there's some contention now. I'm not absolutely clear on everything about it.
I'm not.
But I do remember that I watched Owen Benjamin, and you know, for the most part, I thought he's all right. He's not the funniest guy like he thinks he is, but I'm still pissed off that he stole my fucking penguin jokes and shit. But that's okay. Anyway, there was some kind of thing that went on about where he was going to have some kind of a place where all the bears could go and have
Beartaria.
Yeah. And then something about that shit after a bunch of people sent money and everything that fell through, and he doesn't have it. And
no, he has it. It's there. It's like he's got 2 locations now. He's got one in the Ozarks, and then he's got one in Idaho. And he's got the Beartaria campgrounds. all the money went to like the good causes. He's put money out of his own pocket.
Like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight about it or whatever, but there's, seems to be two camps.
There's a lot of people who want to like try and break apart what he's done, but he's given an alternative to like the Babylon culture. Like
I think he's become a cult.
There's an app. Like I have the Beartaria Times app on my phone. It's like it's the best app you can get on your phone. It's called Beartaria Times, and it connects you with so many like-minded individuals. And it's the most censored app on the internet. Like he doesn't allow any type of just nonsense on there. He doesn't allow people to talk about anything but upliftment and crushing and family culture and farming and connecting of all of the individuals. There's a magazine he's put out, the Beartaria Times magazine. Like I say, this meetup I'm going to tomorrow, there's probably going to be like a couple hundred people there. He's gotten people to stop watching pornography, to stop all the nonsense. I'm just trying to point out what Owen Benjamin did to put Joe Rogan's, Toe Rogan was he's called, Joe the Toe. He's the one who patented Joe the Toe, and he like had this whole movement, no toe in Idaho, where he wouldn't, because Joe Rogan tried to move to Idaho, and Owen Benjamin made this whole slogan, no toe in Idaho, and made sure that Joe Rogan was not welcome in Idaho, because like he was one of the first to he calls out all the nonsense, like when this movie came out, the Road to Freedom or whatever bullshit movie, like he called that from day one, that the dude who made it was wicked, and into all the trafficking stuff that he was trying to like make a movie about being against. Like he saw that shit and like people like, what's the dude? I'm not familiar. And then that other dude, what's his name? That's a really big podcaster that just came out of nowhere. And he has all the Bugattis. What's his name? The Bugatti dude. I can't think of his name.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's
like Owen Benjamin. There's he made cartoons about Andrew Tate and like called him out from day one. When Tucker Carlson and all these other people were trying to put Andrew Tate up on like this pedestal, Owen Benjamin, like he was the only one speaking truth. Like he's like, and that's where it's like I hate when people want to hate on the Big Bear, because like he's one who's he's called it from day one. He like sees through the spellcraft because he was deep in the trenches of Hollywood and been able to
wait a second. I wouldn't say he was deep in the trenches. Look. He makes a big, like he's real famous and shit. He's not. He's about a C-list fucking. He was C-list at best.
No, he was on.
I already know he had a very brief part in House Bunny. Okay. He did some comedy writing.
He was on Sullivan and Sons.
But look, C-list. Never.
No, he toured with what's his name? Freak people. But beside from Norm Macdonald, like Owen Benjamin's the greatest comedian ever to live and walk the planet.
Now I have to disagree with you. I like some of Owen's comedy, but no, he's not the greatest.
Are you shitting me? You want to put Owen Benjamin side to side with fucking Steve Martin, for instance?
Yes, he's better than Steve Martin. He's right up there with all those guys. I'm not shitting you. Like he is like next level. Like he plays the piano. He can improvise like out of left field. Like he can just pull music out of thin air.
He can do that.
And Carrie skates. Why you got to be so rude? Like you can. You're so nice to me sometimes, but now that I'm talking about the Big Bear, now you just want to be all. Well, chappity ass. Like,
everybody can like who they like.
Not everybody has fond ideas about your cult leader.
I know, but why do they got to get their panties all up in a bunch about me?
You know you're in a cult, though, right? You do that. You know that.
I'm just saying, like,
What are the bears? What exactly is a bear? Tell me what a bear actually is.
A bear is someone who identifies as like a culture legend in their community.
What's a culture legend?
To where we rise above the demise of the Babylonian society, and we rise upon the ashes and build a community outside of it. It's a separation.
Can't you do that without being a bear?
You can, but like the bear community, like Beartaria, like it gives a whole it's a whole nother economy outside of it. Like, I mean, I'm making pillows right now that bears order from me on Beartaria Times app. Right. Like I have people who support me on there. It's like that's real. That's real love. They appreciate my craft. And you know, it's like that is community. And community is everything, especially community that promotes family.
So now, right now, if you wanted to tell all the other bears that you got these pillows that you want to sell, how do you do it?
I posted on Beartaria Times app. There's like it's like kind of like Facebook. I mean, you post pictures on there. I can post it on there, and every single person that's in the bear community that has the Beartaria Times app gets on there, and they can see my post. The thing about too with Owen Benjamin is like I don't jive with every single thing he says, and I don't worship the ground he walks on. Like he doesn't define what the bears are in general. Like he's the one who gets on and does 3 to 5 hour long live streams, you know, with piano music and talks about, you know, pouring ladles of gravy, which he, you know, that's like his terminology for dishing up the truth, you know, on a daily basis. But I mean, he doesn't define, you know, who, and he, you know, he slaughters all of our sacred cows. I mean, he's gotten under pressed all of our buttons, you know, like if he hasn't, then he hasn't done his job as a comedian.
I'm sorry, I just see him getting, when I see somebody get to that kind of a personality status, especially in video platforms, they always end up very disappointing in the end.
Well, it can be, but yeah, you just
have. They will inevitably. They always.
You have to be on guard. I've yet to be disappointed by Owen Benjamin. Mr. B Natural says Owen seems very closeted with how much he talks about dicks. How many kids? How many kids do you have, Mr. B Natural? Because Big Bear has 4 currently, and you know he's encouraged a lot of other people to be fruitful and multiply, and don't be fruity and blow a guy. So, I mean, that's his whole terminology. And, you know, he talks about rollerbladers being, you know, that's his terminology for the homo. And, you know,
I'm familiar with Owen's shit. You know, it's not like I'm alien to it.
It's classic. You know, you want to find him, he's on Odyssey now.
I watched him when he was still on YouTube.
Yeah.
When he was out. Listen, man, what is with you?
I'm sorry.
So he'd be outside drinking his beer, and it was around the time when he was starting to come around to flat earth. Okay. And I found that interesting because I watched that progression over a period of time. And I didn't comment or anything. I just watched it go down, and I was like, that's pretty awesome. So I would catch his show from time to time. And then, of course, he got kicked off of YouTube, and I found him eventually over on Rumble or something like that. But I did find where I'd seen a change because I hadn't watched him in a while, and then I started watching him, and I guess about the time the Beartaria business was starting to go sour was when I didn't watch him, and then I picked it back up, and I was like, this guy is on a lot of things. I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way, man. He's kind of just kind of a douche.
Well, totally gay news in the chat says that Owen talks about dicks in front of his children. That's bullshit. Like, you're making up fucking wicked lies, and that's why you're totally gay news and you're totally fake news, because like you're just like, you know, you make up nonsense. You're jargon sense. Like, no wonder you're totally fake news.
But you see, hold on a second, Rasta. No, I want to point out something to you.
All
right. Your defense of Owen Benjamin seems very, very personal, almost
It
like it's an attack on you.
It is,
dude. That's a cult.
No, I stand with him as a brother.
Listen to me. You're in a cult. You're reacting exactly the same way as somebody whose religion is questioned. Yes, you are.
If somebody's going to talk shit about one of my brothers, I'm going to stand
Your
up
brother,
and take a stand for them.
Rasta, you don't fucking know him.
I write him letters. He reads my letters. I've met him personally.
Yeah.
He's my brother. Yeah.
He's your brother.
He is. He's my brother in Christ.
Oh my God.
He's a Christ believer, a Christ follower. Anyone who accepts Christ into their heart is a brother in Christ.
What about somebody who went out there, back in the day and met Billy Graham at a Bible revival and shit, and wrote letters to Billy Graham? Does that mean that him and Billy Graham are friends and they know each other and shit? Or is that one of the many? You do realize how many letters and shit that guy actually gets, right?
Yeah, and then when he takes the time to actually read them and respond and say kind-hearted things and promote my pillows, like he's given my pillows a shout out before. Like he takes the time to show that he cares. It's not something where
really,
it's like,
that's awesome. What I can see from what you've shown me, that is some very good quality work there, man. I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just got done stitching this one up, like the pocket on it. Look at how nice that pocket is. And it goes so deep inside. And this one's Grateful Dead. I call this one the Owsley Stanley pillow. It's inspired by the greatest chemist of all time, Owsley Stanley, who rode closely with the Grateful Dead, on multiple of their excursions, and he was like their trusted chemist to provide with them the medicine. I mean, there was this one interview where Jerry Garcia talked about how he ate this slice of birthday cake that had like 10,000 hits of LSD in it or something like that, and then he went out on stage and was able to perform that night, and he was just joking about how much was in that icing that he ate on the cake. And it's just like Owsley Stanley was, the man behind it. And that's why I named this pillow the Dead Bear pillow after the great Owsley.
Cool, man.
But yeah, the whole, like I'm making Dead Bear pillows right now because the Dancing Bears, I'm going to the bear meetup tomorrow. I've got a couple other bears.
Where's this going to be at now?
It's up in Mossy Rock, Washington.
Mossy Rock, Washington.
Which is right out. It's near Mount St. Helens. It's pretty close to Mount St. Helens, which is one of the, the only volcano that's actually erupted in our modern history.
Yeah,
here.
I remember.